Bracket racing isn't just what we do, it's who we are. It's how we identify ourselves.
What does bracket racing mean to me? It's my life. It's where my people are. My idols, my family, my friends.
Bracket racing is life. Bracket life. Hello and welcome back to the BracketLife Broadcast, Canada's drag racing show. Love that new the new logo we got.
It's nice, isn't it?
You know,
the slogan
rolls
great.
off the slogan rolls off the tongue. The logo looks good. The new t-shirts, I have it on actually. It's under my sweater. I'll bring it up here. There it is. It's right there. Looks like that. There you go.
In the high-tech world, we would have put a picture up there for those watching, right?
But we would have. But you know, this is the world we live in. You know, it's 2023. We do what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Brandon Barker here, as always. Andrew Sturck sitting across from me on the screen, across from me on the show. Either way, it's all good. Andrew, how are we doing tonight, bud?
Yeah, can't complain. Gearing up to go racing for a couple weeks in a row here. So after a weekend off, you did not have that so much, but excited. It's Tuesday. Woke up thinking it was a Wednesday. That was one day closer. It had to take a step backwards before the weekend, but you know.
That's all right.
That's how it happened, right?
Yeah, that's not as good as going the opposite way where, you know, you think it's the Monday, but it's actually Tuesday. But what do you do?
Well, that was like 30 seconds after I woke up and realized it wasn't Wednesday. I thought it was Monday again, but you know, Groundhog Day. Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Exactly. Let's jump into the Canadian countdown. Andrew, we have a boatload to talk about right in the swing of things, obviously, right? We just started June.
Race season has started apparently, right? In Canada.
It has. Yes, sir. We will start all the way on the West Coast, Mission Raceway Park. Saturday, Junior Street, Tyler Smith. Fun note here before we get to the Sunday notes. Tyler Smith, once again, the Junior Street winner. Tyler has won all 4 races to this point at Mission in the Junior Street class. So that's a decent start.
That's a roll, right?
Decent start. That'll do. Sportsman Nick Douglas, very similar to Tyler Smith, doubles up, wins Saturday and Sunday. Pro on Saturday, Rick McKinney rolls through. Super Pro, Dustin Brewington. Hot Rod, Dustin Hunter. Junior Thunder and Junior Lightning was April and Nick Bond. I believe that is a sibling situation going on there, dominating the junior class. Super Combo, Mark Downing. Super Shifter, John DePork.
I'd roll with that.
That'll work. Yeah, John, if you're watching, I apologize if I missed it, but it's got to be close.
I feel like that's probably right.
Or the C was not supposed to be in there, and then it's just DePork. But
that's true.
Here we are.
That's why you couldn't pay me enough to be an announcer, right?
Yeah. Roll over to Sunday. We hit Tyler Smith, right? Nick Douglas, Junior Street and Sportsman champion. Pro category, our boy Craig Johnson rolling through as well. Kevin McNichol. There we go. In Super Pro, Hot Rod, Chris Stone. Junior Thunder, Wesley Armstrong. And Junior Lightning, Seal Gagnon. Warren Jacobson is the Super Combo winner. Scotty Winterbottom, Super Shifter champion. Come a little more east, but still west. Top eliminator Edmonton. Saturday, Kurt Smith took the win over Mike Perrin. Sunday, ROC over Cody Graves, Ryan O'Connor. I just want to throw this out there. Everybody from the top E group, everybody in Edmonton, you should feel ashamed of yourselves for letting Ryan O'Connor win dressed the way he was. And if Ryan's watching, then like that's just how I feel. Pink shirt, sleeves cut off, everything going on. It's a rough look, but good for Ryan. Good for ROC. I didn't want to throw it out there. Super Pro champ. We didn't see all the results. I didn't find them all. I do know Jeff Coleman watches this a lot. Jeff Coleman did pick up a big win at Rad Torque Raceway this weekend as well. So congratulations to him. That's what's going on at West, or what has gone on at West for the last weekend.
We'll head a little bit, I guess, east from here, right? So we'll pick up in Napierville. So you and I rolled out there for the Super Tour season opener. First time in Naperville. It was a fun race. Actually, I had never been there. Only saw pictures of it. Loved the track. That was a fun place to get the season started off. And that was my first race of the year. So wasn't a bad place to get it rolling. So Friday saw the Gamblers race. Super Pro Gamblers was Adam Bizantis, putting everything together. He's like the king of the Friday Gamblers, right? Everything where I've gone, it's just he rolls off the trailer and just kills it. Semi-Pro Gamblers. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, I'm going to butcher this name, but Martin and
I believe it's Lasseret.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go with that. I was really worried about that one, and I didn't want to make that one a bad. That was going to be a rough one. Saturday, main event, Junior Dragster, Katie Adams, Semi-Pro, Eric Corvo, Super Pro, Phil Harvey, Super Pro Gamblers after the main event, Trevor Monahan over Brock Godmare, and Semi-Pro Gamblers, Russ Frazier. Sunday, picking it up, we've got Junior Dragster with Shelby
Sagan. There we go.
Why I was having trouble with that.
All good. I got you.
I appreciate that one. Semi-Pro, Daryl Jensen. And then Super Pro, Rock Bodine. Rock was rocking a bunch of cars there that weekend. He was trying the top.
Yeah. He had a lot going on.
Yeah, and I think I almost was Friday or Saturday. I seen him pull the gold trusty out with stickers still on the tires and just went rounds. Just typical.
Simple as that.
Right? So awesome weekend. You and I both went rounds. I managed to get my final on Saturday night and came up short against Phil, right? He's 7 dead 7 and I'm 10 going 1 over and checked out to try to hope for the best and did not do much with that. So, but
you did what you could.
Yeah, you tried. It was us happy with the event, right? Like, to be honest with you, came out, got out off the trailer pretty good. So, it's nice to come off the trailer first event and actually throw on some win lights and not just be the duck sitting there, right? So I'll roll with that. From there, we're going to come back a little bit. Grand Bend Motorplex Thunder Series, their second event of the year. I don't have a lot of results from there. I just have a few. But Saturday's Top ET, Ed Smith, Extreme 32, Kevin Knight, and Mod ET, Skinny Kenny Hebert. Sunday, Skinny Kenny jumps in the long car, puts it in the Top ET winner circle. And here's the fun one. I always love these stories because these are kind of neat. So Extreme 32, Derek DeBoer, he owns the Rambunctious I guess Ram truck. I can't think of the model name of it, right? Very famous out this way to get to Western Ontario. So Derek breaks the third member of the truck on Saturday. Buddies of theirs and ours, Craig DeGow, he's out testing on Saturday in his Malibu. Here's about this. They pull the third member out of Craig's car in St. Thomas, get her cleaned up. Derek drives down. They pick the third member up, get it back up to Grand Bend, put it back in the truck somewhere on that 2 a.m. fix. Truck's ready to roll Sunday, and then parks the truck in the Extreme 32 winner circle. Just racers helping racers. I always think that's cool. I love hearing those type stories, right? Because it's just, it's fun, right? So great on them. That was a big turnaround for them because they were down and out. Open comp, Tim Ferguson taking the win over Kimberly Arquette. Kimberly was the 2022 street champion at Grand Bend. She's been starting to mix it up in some of the big car classes like Open Comp and Mod ET. So real great for her just going rounds and picking up the win there. We'll jump to the divisional at Norwalk this past weekend. Not a lot of Canadians going around there, but it was a pretty stout fields in the funny car division. Kudos to Ryan Stack. They qualified the number 8 spot. They went out in round 1, but it was a pretty good 8-car field. Jeff Chatterson was also down there. Unfortunately, couldn't crack the 537 bump that Norwalk produced, but I think they went 547. It's getting after it, right? And when you look at the names of all the guys and girls who were down there running, I mean, it was a who's who list that showed up at the divisional. So, to get in and even be in the running was a big thing. From there, we'll jump to, and this one's going to have to bear with me a little bit. RCSS, they had their season opener. Saturday saw Casey Kovac over John Hutchinson in the Super Pro final. Casey managed to continue things rolling. Casey does this a lot too, right? Like we just getting a roll. So they have a quick sportsman class. Unfortunately, came up short in quick sportsman to Kenny Grossi. Kenny picking up the W in quick sportsman. Greg LeBlanc, Mod ET with his first win. Was a big one too. Came over back-to-back champion Mark Minikanen. That's not an easy final round win. Mike Konopacki picking up the W in Superbike and Sled. Darcy Macabre picking up the win in foot brake over Scott Cowell. We've got Street ET is an interesting one. We've got family affair, brother versus sister in Street. So Austin Harvey and Victoria Harvey. Austin with the win over his sister. Victoria had to beat her boyfriend in the semis, Aaron Fernstein, to take the win into the final. So that was an interesting final couple rounds there. You've got Cammy Scott with the win in Junior Dragster on Saturday. Michael Dominicetti with the consolation win. From there, and this is where you got to bear with me. We're just rolling through here. I didn't get these results in as fast as I should have. I've been slacking, I'll be honest with you. Here's a fun one. Steve Firstel. Steve's a longtime racer, been around forever, running Southern Ontario, doing some big money stuff. Been running juniors with the kids a lot recently, but got the big car back out. He parks it back in the winner's circle over Casey Kovacs in Quick Sportsman. Bob Jennings taking the win over Wes Bemke in Super Pro on the Sunday. This is an interesting one. Bradley Deeks taking the family Camaro. Brad's normally used to running Super Pro in the dragster, and Camaro's been mostly a Super Pro car, but the box is out, and Buddy parks it in the no box winner circle. So couldn't have bet on that one. That was interesting. I'll have to talk to him about when I see him. Wayne Gibson with the runner-up in that one. We've got Darren Bullwhip Johnson. Great nickname. I kind of just... It works, right?
Go Bullwhip.
Over Bullwhip, right? Jason Stewart with the runner-up. That's bike and sled. We've got Footbrake, Steve Dutton over Tony Valerio in Footbrake, and Sam Snap with the win over Victoria Harvey. Victoria takes it to 2 final rounds in 2 days, but just comes up short in both. Sam with the win in that one. Jake Snell with the win over Cole in Junior Dragster main event. And Cammy Scott going rounds, this time in the Junior Consi, but Michael Dominicetti taking the W. Oh, Cammy Scott with the win over Michael Klein in the Michael Dominicelli Real Estate Junior Dragster. Sorry about that one. Struggled badly there.
A lot of names going on.
There was a lot.
That's all good. We will roll now. I started in the West. Let's go all the way east that we got. First, Miramichi Dragway unfortunately canceled their event for this past weekend. Had some weather going on there. But the weekend before, Greenfield Dragway, Nova Scotia, the Atlantic Canada season opener was there Saturday. We had a box winner, Roddy Simpson. No box, Cale Johnson. This, for Roddy and Cale, big weekends. They both doubled up. They both, Roddy won Super Pro both days. Cale won Pro or no box both days as well. For Cale, this was his first and second win, obviously, in a big car. 17 years old, just getting warmed up, and takes it on against some of the best that the Unreal. East Coast has to offer. So good for Cale, good for Roddy out there. Absolutely. Saturday, junior winner Blaine Wynot and Caden Sprague also took a win in junior. Sunday, Super Pro, as I already said, Roddy Simpson, Cale Johnson. Bike sled, David Combs. Sportsman, Scott Tebow. And junior, Blaine Wynot for another double up. So that's a boatload of people parking it in the winner circle a bunch of times.
Just goes to show when you get on a roll, right? It's, you're rolling.
Yes. And then this past weekend, we did, as much as there wasn't a whole lot to talk about or reminisce from what our weekend was in Ohio, the ACE event. Great event. We rolled down there, myself, Vicky, Ashley, Rachel, and Mike. Mike left his car at home. Rachel obviously did as well. So just the three of us got to race, me, Vic, and Ash. We had fun. Worked a lot, though. Worked big bolos. If you were paying attention on social media, there was a lot going on. And it was hot, man. Like, it was warm. Yeah. So Thursday, roll out. We're going to have a great time. Go do the burnout. No luck. Okay, They're thinking there's a problem. All right, well, we'll see. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's go make another. They just got open time trials. So let's go make another run. Go to make another run. I'm in the lanes. I'm 7, 8 pairs back. Big oil down. We're stuck, right? Lanes are full. You can't get out even if you tried. So we leave it there. No, it's broke. Converter's junk. Replace that. Keep trying. We went through, I don't want to say wasted, but essentially we wasted 2 days of racing, just changing stuff, right? Converter went out, the rotor inside the distributor at the back, it burnt a hole through the bottom of itself, through the plastic. So we're losing spark there. So then not running on, clean on the full 8 cylinders. Broke a valve spring in the for an exhaust valve. Dropped the valve down just far enough to touch a spark plug. close the spark plug gap. So we have a dead cylinder then as well. So that was fun, fixing that late at night. I think that was Thursday for us. We went through all that nonsense. I'm sure there was more going on.
Those are the highlights of that day.
Yes. Rolled out Friday, thinking we're set. Go, let go of the button. Thing just falls flat on its face. Will not do anything. So after chasing around a little bit, found some dirt or little rocks in the air bleeds for the carburetor. Thought that fixed it. Didn't. Ended up just eventually rebuilding the whole carburetor. So that's how. And then it worked fine Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, I down around 4, I had a nasty flinch, and then just kind of flinched before, let go of the button before the tree came down. So I let go. I just sat in the beams, hoping that somebody was, my opponent was going to red light. He was close. He came up 3. He was 3, so he was almost there. He was on the edge of going red. So
you almost look like a hero there, right?
Yeah, and the sun was the way the sun was beating on the tree. Like it was lighting up his red light. So like I'm looking and I see the red lit up. I'm like, there's no way he just did that. And there was no way he did not do that.
For a brief second, you
I
told
was
me
like,
there was a chance, right?
Oh yeah. I was set. Yeah. But
oh man.
All in all, it was good. Good weekend.
Yep.
We learned a lot of different things about the race cars themselves. Yep. We found some flaws in our system with some of the other cars and whatnot, just think ways that we were doing certain things that can be improved, and that's from working together and talking about ideas. And, obviously, Mike came down to say he wanted a relaxing weekend, right? That's why he left his race car at home. He was going to hang out, come up the lanes when he needed to, but, we made that guy work.
Yeah.
And not just my car. We did have issues with the other 2 as well. So just shifter issues, but no, Mike was working all weekend, but that was good. Good to do that.
No,
I'm glad that I was very fortunate Mike was there, because I probably would still be stuck there stranded. You know what I'm saying? Somehow.
Oh yeah. Or just staring at the race car in disbelief, right? Yeah. That's usually how that happens. That's good. It's tough. You got to mix those weekends in. Like you hate to say it like that, but like they're going to happen. There's places to have them happen. That's not the worst place, right? But it's also one place you hoped it wouldn't. But it's funny, like everything's working fine. Just a couple weeks before, everyone's going rounds at Super Tour, right? And then
that's it.
Like next pass.
Yeah, as I said, I made 30 runs at the Super Tour event over 3 days, and just all went south.
No issues. Yeah,
but
right. So it's
what do you do?
Incredible how that happens, right?
What do you do? So that was our weekend. We will now. We'll roll through, I guess, into the main event part of the broadcast. So a little bit different, right? Not obviously it's the BracketLife broadcast, right? And it's not really bracket racing we're going to talk about, but that's all right. She started bracket racing. So we'll bring her on, Sienna Wildgust.
Hello.
Sienna, how's it going tonight?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Glad you are here. Glad we get to do this. This is pretty big. For the broadcast, pretty big for us, pretty big news for you coming out. So first, I guess everybody who's paying attention might not initially know who you are or what you've got going on. Let's, lead off of that. Let's tell everybody a little bit about yourself and the next venture you're about to dive into.
Yeah. So I got the amazing opportunity to join KB Titan Racing to run Pro Stock, and I'll be the youngest to ever compete in a Pro Series class.
Absolutely, because you currently are 16, right?
Yeah.
And then now, going to be 17 here soon, and jumping into a Pro Stock car to, in a Pro NHRA class, which is wild.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So very exciting. And then we were talking just before the show, and I'm like, so like, what are you doing for school and this and that? Like, well, no, like I'm just still in like grade 11.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's unbelievable, really. Yeah. So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So good for you. So Sienna, I want to we'll go before we're going to hit the Pro Stock thing pretty hard through this conversation, but there's a lot that you got to do or got to kind of experience growing up around racing. So we'll hit that. Like, where did you start getting into racing? Where did you come from? What did you do? You raced juniors for 8 years, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your upbringing at the racetrack.
Yeah, so I started racing juniors when I was 8. In 2020, I went over 6 events, and I feel like that's when I really started to enjoy racing. And I really thought that, oh, like this is what I want to do for a career, but I just wasn't sure of the opportunities that were out there. At this time, I was also playing high-level hockey, and I kind of had to pick hockey or racing, and I picked racing. And then in 2021, we partnered with Smokey's Garage, which is super exciting. And I cannot thank Mike and Linda enough for everything that they've done. And everyone at Smokey's, you guys are all amazing. But then that
Quite
year,
a few of them watching right now too.
yeah, I bet you a bunch of them. And then that year it was COVID, so we weren't able to do the PDRA like we were expecting to. So we raced Grand Bend. We went to Naperville in Quebec, which that's an amazing track.
Absolutely.
And then in 2022 is when we started racing in PDRA. I raced Pro Junior Dragsters. My dad drove Pro Mod and Top Sportsman at that time. And then Mike drove Bracket Bash with his Hellcats, which is pretty cool. So I qualified at every event except one, which was quite hard. There's like
just quite the feat. That's a
Yeah.
competitive
Yeah,
class,
because
right?
they do that like off reaction time, or is it still the 790?
790.
Okay.
Yeah. And the bump would be like a 791. It
Yeah.
was insane.
Yeah.
And then for my 16th birthday, I got a 68 Camaro, a racket car. And the day of my birthday, I remember sitting there being like, oh, I want to get in this car. And then we went to Grand Bend, and I was able to put a couple hits on it and kind of learn that. And then finally, I was able to compete in the last 2 events of PDRA in the bracket car. I was foot braking at that time, but still learning.
Yep.
I attended Frank Hawley's drag racing school, and I got my license in the Top Dragster and also the Firebird, which Frank Hawley's is amazing. Frank is amazing. Everyone
I
there.
was just gonna say I've
Yeah.
heard good things about that, right?
Yeah.
And I've not had just talked to many people in depth about it, but
Yeah.
it sounds like it's quite the
It
experience
is.
when you.
Yeah, I would recommend it to a lot of people. And then, so I originally planned to drive Pro Outlaw 632 this year. That was the plan. So we got a 69 Jerry Haas car rolling, and that was the plan. And then we started looking at like logistics and all that kind of stuff with my end goal in mind of driving Pro Stock. And we were like, oh, maybe we should hold off for a bit and just see what happens. So my dad's really good friends with Eric Latino. And so they got in touch, and Eric was like, oh, is like Sienna interested in Pro Stock? And my dad was like, yeah, like really interested. And honestly, he just worked wonders, and he gave me the opportunity to go Pro Stock racing, and I'm very thankful for him. It's amazing, and I'm so excited. Yeah.
That is, an opportunity
Yeah.
and a half, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. So have you tried? So what's the fastest you've raced in your own car to this point in your own Camaro?
Only 8 miles, so like 628.
And then jumping into Frank Hawley stuff, then you had never drone a full size dragster before, right?
No.
No.
And we did a quarter mile there too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's cool. So that'd be
Yeah.
experience. And then
Yeah.
how was the Firebird? Like I've seen lots of pictures of that, and I love the old Pro Stock
Yeah.
looking cars, so
It still had like the old dash in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
No, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So a little bit different though than what you're going to jump into.
Yeah.
Right?
Very different.
Coming up. So
Yeah.
I know Andrew had this question. I'm sorry, Andrew, I'm taking it. It is what it is. Why Pro Stock first? Like, what is the choice like that for you? Like, and how did that come about?
I really just liked Pro Stock, and I heard the term Pro Stock's the only real kind of race car.
Yeah, there you go.
Not automatic. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, like that'd be cool. And then I was watching it, and then my friend Camry was doing it, and I just really liked the class. I went and watched some events, and just really, yeah.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
talk about Camry, right? Obviously, Camry
Yeah.
Caruso, who you are now getting to learn from, right? She has made a
Yeah.
huge splash into NHRA Pro Stock lately, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the car, correct? That you're going to be driving is Camry's the current one she's using.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, like just waiting for a freshman to get out there, and then
Yeah.
you're diving in.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I can
Oh.
feel the excitement here.
Yeah.
So what's so I imagine at this point, like you've been to a few races, you were
Yeah.
saying, right? And you've been in the pits. What's training like for this? Like what's the entry level, level of here's a 500-inch car. Where do you start learning this stuff? Where have they brought you in? What was like kind of the day one of lessons, or I say lessons, but just like where do you pick this up, right? So
Yeah.
when you show up at the track with them, where do they got you doing, or where they got you showing you stuff? How does that work?
So the last time I was there, they had me in the car setting the clutch and learning how the clutch works.
Yep.
Then they also had me on the line, just going over procedures. I try and stand beside the car so I can see them shifting and the burnout and
Yep.
leaving. I can't really touch the car much just because that's pretty secretive, which is understandable. But really just being around everyone, being around the spectators, the environment, all the other
Yep.
teams.
That's pretty cool, right? You spent some time down south already. You said at the KB Titan shop, right?
Yes.
So a lot of conversations over like procedure. I mean, that's the one thing about Pro Stock. I mean, especially 500-inch, but maybe Pro Stock in general. I think they're a very fickle car. Like there's a lot to it, right? In how they work. I mean, there's simple in that there isn't turbos and superchargers and nitrous, but I mean, there's a lot of technology there. What's that education course been like? Because those are very complicated setups, right?
Yeah.
Have they been trying to introduce you to that and understand the inner workings of the car, or like outside of the secret part I get, but
Yeah. So me and my mom are actually going to live in Charlotte for the month of July. So that's where I'll be working in the shop every day, and they'll be teaching me more and understanding the car and how it
it's going to
works.
put you right into the fire here.
Yeah. Yeah. And their
that's
engine
pretty
shop
cool.
and everything is right there at their main shop.
Yeah.
So
So you actually get to spend like day in, day out at the shop learning more about the cars.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an important part.
Yeah.
Like there's a few classes where you feel like you can see someone jump in a car and not necessarily have to know a lot about it. I don't feel like Pro Stock's
No.
one of those classes where you just say, okay, it's a 500-inch car and here's, 5 forward speeds, go.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand how these things operate to really drive them right. So
Yeah.
excellent. Maybe go backwards a little bit. I'm kind of curious because you come from a lineage of racing that's really cool,
Yeah.
right? And third generation racer. That's a bit of a presumption on my end. I don't know if your great grandfather raced or not, but that's
No,
going
I
back
don't
far
think
enough.
so.
So okay, so start with grandfather, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Paul Martin, your grandfather. I mean, he's raced cars for a lot of years, had a lot of wild cars.
Yes.
The Bars Leaks tour, he was
Mhm.
very infamously famous on it with his 57.
Yeah.
Your dad's raced everything that could have a supercharger on it, right, under the planet. How is like that has to have had some effect, right?
Yeah.
Like you've been around racing your entire life, and even long before that, it's been in the genes.
Yeah.
What's that been like for you as far as an influence, right?
Yeah. Just seeing the relationships that they've built over the years and how they interact with people, and just like the relationships. Like someone will be like, "Oh, I know your dad," and then I get to know that person, or I know your grandpa, and then I get to have a conversation, and it's really nice just to meet a whole bunch of different people and just hear about everybody's experiences with them.
Well, don't be any lack of them because they're hugely popular people in circles,
Yeah.
right? I was saying off the air, I talked to your grandfather at least, as I say, once or twice. They're out every quarter, right? We have a couple hour conversation. He calls the shop. I just block out time and I enjoy it every time.
Yeah.
So, it's always fantastic. Growing up, I mean, you would have been around a lot of professional style racing. Your dad did a lot of it, and I'll call funny car, pro modified, top dragster, right? Does that pro level of racing that he ran for a while, did that have influence on this, like the career aspect? I mean, you talked about saying you played a high level of hockey, and you wanted to go racing, and to be quite honest, hockey being a Canadian thing,
Yeah.
right? Like there's a lot of avenues for high level hockey. For you to decide to go racing, does that growing up in that atmosphere of the pro level racing, that really helped give you a picture of that maybe
Yes.
better?
Yeah. Like I like the idea of racing because I feel like women are held on a higher level than they are in the athletic world of hockey or football or anything like that. And obviously there's still a stigma about women in motorsports, but I think with all of us put together, that we can try and break that stigma and really show people that we're not less than a man in the sport.
I think it's the one thing about drag racing is that, like you look at Shirley Muldowney. I mean, she certainly, there's a path there that blazed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I be honest, you find it weird when you see someone talk about, gender in drag racing, because in all honesty, Camry, the Force sisters, Alexis DeJoy, like there is a lot of top-notch, Eric Enders. I mean, I want to blow past people, but I also don't want to give too many shout outs to opposing pro stock teams, but nonetheless, but like there's, this isn't one of those things where everyone's surprised to see this. And it's certainly one of those sports that certainly doesn't seem to hold gender as much of a segmented regard, although it's still there. It's not shocking to see. So it certainly, look at this avenue for yourself, right? It's, something that in other sports, I think you see a little more, it's more difficult to have that path for you, right? But it's still exciting for you. Absolutely.
So obviously as we said, you're waiting for the car, right? You're waiting for Camry's got to get a car built, and then you have to get, then obviously take control of yours or whatever you want to say. So what's the timeline for that? Do we have an expectation of it? And then what's the process when you start that? I would imagine there is quite, as much training as there is in hanging out and watching it. How much on-track testing do you get to do before you jump in it? And when do you get to start actually racing this thing?
Yeah. So July is hopefully the word. So I'm going to go to the shop, and we're hoping on weekends to go out and test the cars, me and Camry both, and whoever else joins us, to really just put on as many hits as we can. After the month of July, we are hoping to maybe take the car home and run it like the back of the line of Pro Stock or Pro 632 at PDRA, once I kind of have a grasp on how to drive it, just to honestly get seat time. And then I'm really hoping 2024 in Gainesville will be my debut. But that's only if the testing goes well and I feel comfortable in the car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because like
PDRA 632, like you plan on running it as a 500-inch car in the PDRA class. So it's real testing in a more sense of with the actual car and setup.
Yeah.
Right? That's cool. I like it. Right. Good idea. And then nice to test half track, I guess.
Yeah.
Because PDRA obviously only 1/8 mile compared to the quarter mile at NHRA, but you get that feel, because I think that's gonna when you watch those in-car cameras when they're online, that first few 100 feet, there's a lot going on. You've got it worked out, so that's cool. And then obviously, I would imagine you have some pretty I don't know if they're big goals, massive goals, huge, whatever you want to describe them as. Right. Let's hit your short-term, your long-term goals. Like what's obviously 2024, right? Let's get to Gainesville. Let's get racing. What's your 2024 goals or idea look like? And then beyond that, where do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm really hoping to be able to build a platform and get in a sponsorship to be able to run the whole circuit. But that comes with a lot of hard work, which I'm ready to put in.
Yeah.
But for sure, just trying to qualify at every event and just really promote myself and be an inspiration for other females and other young drivers to look up to me. And
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. And then, so how's that going to work with, obviously, like you said, you're still in high school, right? You don't want to miss too much of it, but then do you have a plan for after that with racing for school? Or we're just going to kind of roll with what we're doing.
I'm really interested in construction management.
Cool.
So I'm hoping to run a couple years of Pro Stock and then think about school. But my mom might force me to stay in school for this.
I get it.
But yeah. But I'm really hoping to make Pro Stock a career.
Cool. And lots of opportunity, right? So that, good for you. Glad we get to do stuff like this, right? And there's a lot of great ideas and things out there, and things that you, I'm sure, can bring to the table. Everybody talks about technology and stuff with younger people. So somebody that gets it and can connect to it, right? Once you can connect with the younger fans, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then,
so what's team consistency look like? I guess, so when you talk about bringing it home, right? Like you see a lot of these type teams, Pro Stock teams operate out of kind of the one stable, right?
Yep.
So you're looking to bring it back to Canada and operate. Crew wise, how does that work? The technology side. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to that,
Yeah.
right? How do you guys plan on setting that up? What's the kind of idea for the crew and everything else?
Yeah. So we have a mule motor going in it, so it's not a real KB type motor for now until I actually compete. But we have an amazing team back home. Everyone from Smokey's Garage and our main people from home. They're really looking forward to helping me and learning. I'm really hoping that KB people can also help our home people just understand Pro Stock a bit more. But I'm hoping to roll with the people from home to test with PRA, as well as going back to KB and help, like them helping me as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it. And then long-term goals, obviously we signed about the career. Is there a 5-year plan? Is there a 10-year plan? You know, you want to, like, if you can go out and just run the field and qualify on the pole and win every event, like, that's excellent, right? But you know, what do you want it to be doing in 10 years? Is this, like you said, full-time pro stock? Do you want to try something else eventually? I know, you know, we talked about it a little bit earlier, you know, with the whole pro mod situation, right? Different animal, right? But like, has that crossed your mind? Is that something on your list? Is there anything else you want to cross off, or?
I think just pro stock. Yeah.
Well, there's no problem with that.
Not really allowed in a pro mod, so
yeah,
stick to pro stock.
yeah, that's right. Not allowed in a pro mod until we turn some win lights on in the pro stock car. I get it. Yeah, but no, that's cool. That's cool. So how does everybody feel about this? Like, obviously, like, this is, I know what, you know, it was like for my parents when I got out of a junior into a big car, and then kind of the stresses of that. And, you know, I went out and went, you know, whatever, mid-7s in a dragster.
Yeah.
You're going to come out and go mid-6s in a door car, you know? So like, what's it like with your family getting ready for this experience? How are they coping with the whole deal?
They've been super supportive, and I can't thank them enough. And they've always been here to support me and my sister's dreams, and they're all super excited. They're nervous, but they know that we're with the best team we could possibly be with, and I'm learning from the best people. So I think they know I'll be safe because I'm with amazing people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like it.
So what's been some of the, I guess, exciting points so far being behind the scenes? Like, you know, you can't give away trade secrets, but I mean, must be kind of neat. And there must be some highlightable moments being, you know, in a pro stock pit and seeing some things. Like, what's maybe been I want to say craziest thing, but like the most eye-opening aspect of what you've seen so far that you didn't anticipate?
Honestly, like all the fans and how amazing KB is with all their fans and how well they interact with the media as well with everyone. My highlight. There's so many. It's so exciting just being on the starting line and being able to just take it all in. But just being on the starting line, honestly, is amazing. Being with some of the best racers.
Shoulders to shoulder with some real big, like, famous people, right? Like in our world. So
yeah.
And I would imagine, like, Sunday, you know, race day there in it with a competitive team, like, it's got to have a different energy role in there, right? I mean, I'm sure qualifying school and all this other stuff, but like, what's that like? You know, rolling, turning on wind lights, going rounds. You know, what's the energy's got to be pretty high.
It is,
and hyped up for everybody. No,
it is. And what I really like about KB is that everyone's there to support each other, and they're all helping each other, like running to each other's cars to help.
Yeah.
And I just really it's like a family. They all are there for each other, and they support each other, and they're happy for each other. But the energies are very big in the pit. Everyone's super excited.
And so who's the whole team again? It's like, who are all the drivers that are on the KB racing team?
I'll try and get them all.
Yeah.
Camry, Kyle, Greg, sorry. So yeah, Camry, Kyle, Greg, Derek, and I'm missing one.
Dallas?
Yeah, sorry, Dallas.
There we go.
Please not watching. Dallas.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And that's the official like KB Titan teams. I know there's the motor racing program, right? So there's quite a few other probably de facto-ish teammates out there, but that's something else. It must be kind of neat. And I don't know how much you've had a chance yet. Like, you look at the camp like KB Titan, they've got Greg Anderson, right? Like, a legendary racer. I think
Yes.
he's the winningest pro stock racer. I think he's officially claimed that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much interaction you've had with him and his family, but to have access to someone like that must just be fantastic. Have you had many conversations with him? From a, I would say, professional standpoint, because I mean he's done everything in pro stock, from crewing to tuning to driving. What's that like to have that as an accessibility? Because you've got someone like Camry who's just is brand new to it and had a lot of success early on, which is fantastic. And then you have someone like Greg who's had such sustained. What kind of things have you picked up from him just in your initial time spent with KB?
He's like the most humble person I've ever met. Like, you wouldn't think he's Greg Anderson. He's just very humble, and he's quiet, but he gets to work, and he's really, really smart. And he just shows me so much support, and he's really nice. And you just learn a lot. Like, he'll be in the shop, and he'll be doing his little thing and really secretive, and it's so amazing. You learn all of his little secrets, and yeah, he's really nice. He was there when I got my seat poured, and he was a big help.
Excellent.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We did get some comments. Camry did reach out to help you out. Oh, I flipped through it too early. We got all the teammates listed here. Everybody else. So we appreciate it, So there's
Thanks, Camry.
7 of you. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a wild experience, and like Andrew said, I guess I never thought about it like that, of the difference between getting to learn from Camry Caruso, who's just started, and then, like we said, we talked earlier, splashed onto the scene, got a big win and whatnot, and then Greg Anderson, who's got 100 wins now in pro stock.
Yeah, I think he's cracked
100
right?
now. So like, I hadn't thought about the dynamic with the two of them and the different experiences, right? Because for Greg, it's kind of I don't want to say getting old, but like it's got to be second nature now.
Yeah.
Like that's a all-star career,
Yeah.
right? Is what he has there, right? It's such a dynamic, because that's one of the things when you look at KB. I mean, even, and this is intriguing because I think KB's, before the KB Titan merger, there's a long history of taking people from behind the scenes, right? I think Dallas could probably attest to this. Jason Line has been an example of this, where crew members who've worked, from the back forward, like they seem to do a really good job being able to take people and roll them forward. So this is where I look at, where you're at, right, Sienna, and go, like, they're working with you behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They have a system.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it works really good by the looks of it,
Yeah.
because they've been very successful taking folks and looking through and going, here's how to figure this out. And now we're going to put you in the seat.
Yeah.
And that formula seems to work. I'm not sure how Camry's, path has been, right? But, I'm sure there's been very similar experiences, right, in a lot of senses. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's going to be a wild experience for you for sure as you get through. I'm looking forward to hearing what July, what that experience is like, because you're just going to get thrown right in there and immersed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely keep us in touch. Let us know how you are making out. Send us all the updates
I will,
and
for
whatnot
sure.
as it's going. No, we're very excited for you. We're very excited to be able to, do this, bring you on, talk about it all, celebrate it. We've done this with a few other people, because this is the point of the BracketLife broadcast, right? Is to highlight Canadian drag racers, from coast to coast, whatever, we do, mainly obviously focus on the bracket racing stuff, because that's what we do. But still, Canadian drag racing's, huge, and we have a lot of great Canadian racers doing great things. So this is awesome for you. I think everybody here supports what you're doing. We're excited to see where you can go with this. We appreciate you being able to take the time to do it, before we, let you loose for the night. Is there anybody else you want to thank?
Yeah.
I want to bring up, all the people that I'm sure there's a million
There is.
behind, to help out
Yeah.
get you here. But,
Yeah.
so, let's hit them.
Yeah. So Smokey's Garage, Mike and Linda, and all the crews there. Remax, Sienna Wildgust, Jesse Global Emissions, Morrison Everett, Fraser Asphalt, J&A Services, Eric Latino, and everyone at KB Titan. You're all amazing.
Excellent.
And you
I love
guys, thank you for having me.
Anytime. When you get your first pro stock win, Sienna, then we'll bring you back on. Right?
Okay.
We'll do that. I've called a couple shots out lately, and then like about people winning, and it's worked out for them. So we'll mark this one down. The first NHRA Pro Stock. We'll take you for a PDRA win, right? We're not picky. whatever. And,
Okay.
and your first winner circle in that new Pro Stock car. Let us know. We'll have you back on. But this has been awesome. Really glad we got to take the time to do this. Really glad we get to, be a part of this with you, a little bit. And yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited to see where this goes for you. We're rooting for you and
Absolutely
hope for the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, Sienna, we will let you go, but yes, thank you one more time. And thanks to everybody watching, everybody paying attention. Make sure, everybody else that is following they'll keep track, and we'll talk to you soon, Sienna.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
That was great.
it's exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be neat to follow our testing through the PDRA, right? Because the 632 class you've seen is to kind of develop as a proving ground, right,
Yeah.
for going to pro stock racing. So it'll be exciting to watch them as they're testing the car through there, and just see the progression, right, as she gets through that. So this is it's gonna be a fun year and a half. Trying to do the math in my head now. Gainesville will be about a year and a half out, I guess.
not quite a year and a half. Jesus, man, we're already in June. Be like,
I know where are we at?
I want to say
Yeah,
8,
no, go for
9
it.
months.
Yeah, about because Gainesville's not the early part of the year; it's the start of the year now, right? Anyway,
Yeah, either way,
yeah, it's the first race of the year. I keep thinking it's later, and I don't know why.
all good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Georgia. Maybe I'm thinking of Georgia. I'm just getting my G's mixed up here, but
It's been a long
it's
day.
not even on the schedule anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a very long day.
Long day.
But no, it's exciting. She's going to do a great job, I think, with this, and we're excited to see how that goes. So
Yeah, no, it is cool. Cool being able to do this, right? Always fun. Tie to the next generation, right? It's always neat. Before we wrap it all up, as we said, new BracketLife Broadcast shirts are on sale now. I'll see. I don't think I have. No, we don't have any bidders of it. We can shop the apparel. Where's my little thing? There we go. Right up in that top
there
corner.
it is.
We've got this guy over here. You can go
Here we
check it
go.
out.
There's the
Scan
technology.
that. Yeah, that's right. Scan it. Go check it out. Check out the BracketLife brand website. The new BracketLife Broadcast T-shirt features myself and, for the first time, Andrew Stark on the back of it.
Yes.
It's a great looking shirt. I should have had one in here. Oh, man.
We'll get a picture on this for the next time. It turned out fantastic. Super proud of that. Thank you very much.
I am wearing it, but the office is kind of chilly, so that's
enough.
how it goes. So.
Fair enough.
But
That's it. What? So where we're off to next? You got a weekend off?
I have a weekend off. I have more work going on. Gonna go, if all goes well, we're gonna switch some engines around, and then TMP for the 660 Sportsman Nationals.
That's right.
So yes, absolutely. I'm going there, getting set up. For anybody else checking it out, send a message. Let me know. Ask some questions if you need some. Need some answers.
Need some apparel from Western Ontario. You're coming to the event, so T-shirts, everything else, hats, all the new shirts will be there. I'm excited for the event. Right? First big money race of the year out this way, so it's
it's gonna be good.
It should be good.
Gonna be good. I'm excited.
I'm gonna head to TMP this weekend and probably make some hits and try to figure that new timing system out. I've heard it's.
Let me know all the secrets that you figure out and learn. Send them my way.
Team BracketLife.
That's right. That's right. You come out to TMP, get to meet the BracketLife Broadcast hosts in person. Check us out.
Yes.
We probably won't be signing autographs, but we'll be there.
Nobody wants my autograph.
No,
that's not a thing. I'm not even going to pretend that's a thing, right? But
so make sure you like the video. If you are not subscribed on YouTube, I don't know what you're doing right now, but you should go YouTube, log in, make an account if you don't have one. Subscribe to the BracketLife brand YouTube channel. Check that stuff out. 2 weeks from now, we'll be on the broadcast again, hopefully with some big checks.
It'll be right after the big money race, won't it?
Right after it. So we might freshly have some big checks. Last year at the 660 race, you and I both got some big checks. So maybe we can do it again.
Yeah. You had to do it at my expense too. Thanks for that.
Well, it was your own fault, but
can't let go of buttons.
That's right. That's right. So, right. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Once again, checking it all out. Everybody paying attention. We appreciate it. Everybody in the comments. Always awesome keeping up with everybody and whatnot. Thanks to Sienna, everybody there for coming on, having her a part of her journey, sharing that with us. So that's really cool. And we will talk to you all in 2 weeks.
We'll see you then.
Have a good one. Bracket racing isn't just what we do. It's who we are. It's how we identify ourselves.
What does bracket racing mean to me? It's my life. It's where my people are. My idols, my family, my friends.
Bracket racing is life. Bracket Life.